Hello guys, today's video is going to be real special because it's basically one of the last video where I'm still pregnant. As you can see from the title of this video, it's my first trimester video, and as I'm filming this, I'm currently 48 weeks pregnant. So I technically still have 2 more weeks to go, but definitely you never know at this point when the labor will start, because it can happen earlier. And basically I really hope so, because I feel quite uncomfortable, especially if it's hot, mostly if it's hot during the night, because it's quite hard to cool myself. And as I just basically normally love being outside and sunbath, even like whole day outside, I wouldn't really do it at the moment because it's really uncomfortable. And basically recently, if I went sunbathing, I would spend there like maximum 1 hour, and then I had to go to the shadow or go home just to relax and cool myself a little bit. So I just really hope the labor will start sooner, and basically can't wait to see the baby girl. I still plan to do a baby girl's bedroom, and I'm probably going to film this today as well, because as I said, you never know. Even though we still have few more things to do there and few more things to organize, but I definitely want to have this video prepared in advance. So yeah, actually the third trimester is since the week 27 till the week 40, and as I said, I'm currently 48. So I'm just going to share with you my experiences. First, I want to share the main differences between the second and the third trimesters. Basically, as I went through nearly a whole pregnancy, definitely my favorite one was the second trimester, where I felt quite okay. I didn't feel sick like anymore, and my pump was still not that big to feel really uncomfortable. I didn't really have any massive aches and any massive problems, so that was definitely my favorite one. Because basically during the first trimester I felt sick like nearly non-stop, and now in the third trimester I actually feel really uncomfortable. So definitely the second trimester was my favorite. If you actually were pregnant or you are currently pregnant, let me know down in the comments which trimester was your favorite and why. So the main differences, my back hurt a lot more. Definitely I had some back aches in the second trimester as well, especially like in the end of the second trimester, but now it was much more real and painful, and I definitely just couldn't do anything about it. It basically happens the most if I just basically lay down or sit down and don't really change the way I sit or lay. Then I just have really massive backaches and it's really uncomfortable, really painful. Basically nothing really helps. My boyfriend actually gave me a massages and it was a little bit better, but not really helping that much. So I basically don't really know what to do about it. Thankfully it will be over soon. So it was actually the hardest to edit the wedding photos at the moment, because I just basically had to sit down by the laptop and edit the photos, and there were around 400 photos which I edited from basically over 2000 photos which we took, and basically it was really hard to edit it because I just basically had really bad backaches and couldn't really do anything about it. I basically had to change my position every few minutes and still didn't feel really comfortable. So it was really crazy and tough time, but thankfully I did it in time, and like after a week they had their wedding photos ready, so it's okay. Yeah, actually the baby girl is kicking a lot more, and she probably really enjoys to kick into my ribs and in between them, which is really painful sometimes. Basically for the past few weeks her head is already down and her little feet are right there, so it's basically just under my breast, and if she kicks, she basically mostly kicks into my ribs or in between them, which is really uncomfortable and painful sometimes. Plus, as my baby bump has grown a lot since the second trimester, I just realized that I really miss my old body. Sometimes I basically look into the mirror, and as I see myself, I basically really hate my body, and I know that my body had go through a lot during this pregnancy to grow the baby, but basically I really hate my body at the moment. Actually everything has grown. I actually currently have plus 16 kilos, which is just unbelievable, and I feel like everything about me is like swollen and fat, and I just can't really get comfortable with it. Basically even my face has changed a little bit. I actually have some stretch marks on my breast where it started basically the first. I also basically have some stretch marks on my belly, even though I apply a body oil or body milk like anti-stretch marks twice a day. I still do have some stretch marks, and basically on my belly it's like really low down, so it's not really that terrible like if it would be like a little bit upper, because basically you probably wouldn't really see it anyhow. So I don't know, we'll see. Basically I have some stretch marks on my sides as well, and just noticed that I have stretch marks, few stretch marks actually, on one of my thighs. So I basically still obviously keep moisturize my body and apply a body oil or body cream twice a day. So really hope I won't have any more stretch marks, because I'm quite anxious about it. Also about my breast, it has grown for like 2 cups in size, and basically before I was pregnant I always thought if I'll get pregnant and my breast will be bigger, I would definitely love it. But now when my breast is actually bigger, I really hate it. Can't really wait to have my old little boobs and you know, just my old body. I know it's maybe like quite cruel to say, but even though what my body does at the moment, I really hate it. So definitely can't wait to have my old body. I actually have even like swollen legs and ankles, which is really uncomfortable as well. It can be actually because of the weather, because it's basically really hot outside, but it's definitely because of the pregnancy as well. It's just not really my thing, and every time I basically wear a shorts or dresses, which is most of the time definitely, I feel uncomfortable and it's just swollen and it looks really weird on me. Basically I was shopping recently and fell in love with some shoes, but basically I had just to try it and didn't really buy it, because obviously when I won't have a swollen legs, my feet and everything will be different. So I basically had to wait and see what shoes will fit me after I'll have just my normal legs. So it's really uncomfortable as well. I actually have cramps in my pores during the night the most, and also sometimes when I'm driving, because obviously I'm still driving at this point, and it's mostly basically because I have my doctor in my hometown, which is around like 60 kilometers, so I have to drive there, and sometimes I actually had a cramps in my pulse during driving, like it was really uncomfortable. Plus during the night it even wakes me up a few times and it's really painful. So I heard the magnesium is good for it. So basically I have a magnesium water and some vitamins and also some magnesium pills, which I took, but at the moment I can't really take it anymore because my doctor basically said that it can cause that the labor will be later, so basically I had to stop using it. Thankfully, during the last week or so I didn't really had any cramps in my pulse anymore, so hopefully it's over with it, and hopefully it won't really hurt anymore because it's really painful. I actually have this feeling even when I was not pregnant. Mostly it happens to me basically when I want to swim. That's actually the reason why I don't really swim anywhere where I can't really touch the ground, because basically I'm not a good swimmer, and also if I want to swim I usually have a cramps in my pulse or in my legs, so I would probably sink, and that's definitely not the case I want. I also experienced a heartburn. It was definitely my first time I have experienced this, and it basically happened a few times. Now it happens sometimes, but it's not really that bad. It's just uncomfortable, but not really painful or anyhow really bad at the moment. Didn't really took anything for it, even though there are some pills which you can take even if you are pregnant, but I actually felt if it happens like once when it was more, I won't really use a pills because I don't really want to use too much pills. And you can actually use a baking soda as well, which I haven't tried as well, but everyone says it helps, so if you are struggling with it, you can try it. I even have been struggling with fake contractions, which is called Braxton Hicks contractions, and basically it happens to me many times during the day and the night. It's really uncomfortable, and in my case nothing helps. Actually, if you are struggling with it, the change of the position should help you. Some work should help you. Even like warm water should help you, but not in my case. I actually have it for a few hours a day and a night, and sometimes it's really painful. So I sometimes was like, maybe it's the start of the labor, especially like last week when I was sorting out these spices. I was sitting on the floor like on a little pillow, and I have these fake construction, and basically I couldn't really move. I couldn't stand up. It was just really painful, and it took few minutes to go away, but it was really intensive, and it basically happens a lot during the during the first trimester to me. I probably had it just once or twice during the second trimester. Now it's definitely every single day and every single night. And not just one time, but more times, which is just driving me crazy. Because you basically never know when it's real, and I feel like if the water will break down, like sure it's a labor, but just with these constructions, you never know. So that's probably like the main differences between the second and the third trimester. And now I'm going to share with you my experiences like week by week. So week 27, I could finally see the baby girl moving, and mostly in the evening when I lay down, but definitely I wanted to record her on my phone and took a video many times, and usually if I just take my phone, she will stop. Even though I don't really move anyhow, and I don't really know if she can somehow see it or feel it, but definitely she will stop most of the time, so I don't really have that many videos where she's moving. Struggling with backaches, which is still real, and yeah, bend down to put on my shoes starts to be challenging. Even like when I wanted to wash my hair and like bend over in the bath, or if I wanted to dry my hair and I basically just bend over, it's really challenging and uncomfortable. Plus, when I stand straight, I actually have back aches, so it's really not fun at all. Seriously miss my old body and can't wait to have it again. This is definitely a thing I was talking about previously. As I gain weight, everything is swollen, everything is bigger, and I also have some stretch marks. I really hate my body, and definitely plan to go outside for walks with our baby girl as much as I can when she'll be here, because want to lose my extra weight as soon as possible and have my old body back as soon as possible as well. So definitely the walks will help me and will be my favorite movement, because obviously, like after giving birth, I don't really know how comfortable I'll be. So I don't really know if I'll be able to like fully work out. We'll actually see, but the walks are a thing. I definitely can't wait to, and I plan to do a lot. Some kicks are seriously painful. She's actually much stronger than in the second trimester. Plus, also, if she kicks into my ribs or in between them, it's really, really painful. I don't really know even how to explain it, because if you haven't experienced it, it's just hard to tell. If you experience it, let me know down in the comments. Basically, it's really not comfortable. Week 28, baby girl moves and kicks a lot. Was also finally able to catch it in the video. It was probably like a short one moment that I basically recorded it. Usually it's like 1 minute video and she kicks like twice, and it's not even like that much visible. It's actually being more visible during the last few weeks, but like in the beginning it was just some little moving, but not that much visible. Also, I got a flu from my boyfriend. I actually had sore throat, headache, fever, pain, cough and cold. But in my opinion, it's better to catch it like in that week when I was actually 28 weeks pregnant, than like before the labor, because I can't really imagine giving a birth and being really sick, because I definitely felt really, really bad. And as you can't really use that much pills, I was mostly lying down, and it took me maybe even like 2 weeks to get like 100% okay. So it was really bad experience, and definitely not my favorite, but thankfully it's over, and I'm healthy again. So sorry, my camera died, so I had to change the battery. So I'll start over with the week 29. I actually had a blood test plus the injection. It's actually like some vitamin injection, I would say. If you actually have a minus blood group, you can be dangerous for your baby, and the baby can be dangerous for you. So that's the reason why they apply the injection. And basically you don't really know what blood group will your baby have when it's born. Plus we also don't know what group has my boyfriend. So I had to have this injection, and it's basically just once in life. Even if you have more babies, you get this injection just once. And about the blood test, I actually hate taking blood and seeing blood and everything about it. I usually faint, so I had to lay down, and the sister took my blood. I'm just really scared of it, and as I have low blood pressure, I usually feel like really dizzy, and I can't even faint, which is definitely uncomfortable and definitely scary. So basically I just laid down, and thankfully I didn't faint at all. Even though I feel like I felt really dizzy. I was craving for apples. Basically before it was mostly like strawberries and oranges. I could eat like kilos of it, and at this point it was apples. Basically I would eat many apples during the time, and I was just loving it. And actually I like apples, but not really loving it that much. But during that week I was just craving for it all the time. I actually felt finally okay, but still have a cough. It was like after my flu, which I got from my boyfriend. So basically it took me like 1 week to like get over with this fever and other things, and then I still had a bad cough, which definitely was really not comfortable. Plus, as I was coughing, my stomach was moving obviously, and it was even like painful. So definitely not my favorite weeks. I had backaches, and getting out of the bed or couch is challenging. At this point it's even harder. Sometimes my boyfriend needs to basically help me if he's at home. If he's not, I have to do it on myself. Basically I feel like a beetle which wants to get on its feet and can't really do that. And it's basically, maybe it's fun to watch, but definitely not really fun to experience. Basically I have to sit down, which is definitely challenging and really hard. I usually look like I'm swimming, like moving my hands to help me, and it must really look funny, but definitely not really that funny if you experience it. Then I basically put my feet down and try to, like, again with my hands, like helping to get on my feet, and it's just not really comfortable. And especially if you wake up in the night and you just basically wants to pee and your urine is really full and you basically can't really move that hard. It's really challenging to get out of the bed. I have written down again that I miss my old body without extra kilos. I gained 10 kilos at that point. Now I have plus 16 kilos, and I also gained weight to have a small boobs again, which I had before I was pregnant. Now it's like 2 cups bigger and I definitely hate it. Baby girl enjoys kicking into my ribs, which is really uncomfortable. I have some acne on my chin and shoulders as I was ill. Actually, I've been struggling with this in my first trimester, I guess. Probably not that much in my second trimester. And now not really experiencing that much acne on my face, but definitely on my shoulders. And I actually have some scars like here and need to heal it and like sunbath it, because I was sunbathing and as I had the acne, there's some little white points on my shoulders and it looks really disgusting. I don't really know if you can see it on the camera or not, but it's definitely not really looking good. Big birthday. First huge sunburn, legs, chest, shoulders, belly and face. Actually, I feel like I spent few hours outside at that point, and I felt like I could really do sunbathing like I did before. So basically I had a little picnic like blanket to lay on it and some pillows. Then I had to take more pillows and like have it under my pec because it was hurting a lot. And basically I probably did too much hours like this, and of course I got sunburned. My problem is I don't really use sun protection that much. I feel like I didn't use any at that point, and later then I was using some small amount of some like maximum 30 SPF. So I'm really bad at it, and basically as I was lying down on the like ground, basically my back was hurting a lot. Like it was for a few hours and my back was hurting the whole week, which I actually didn't do since then. And if I was sunbathing, it was like for 1 hour or maximum maybe 2 hours. And with some breaks, I was making sure that I drink a lot, and I basically was on our swing to help me actually to just stand up and didn't really lay on the ground. Also, baby girl was kicking into my ribs and in between them, which is, as I said previously, really uncomfortable. Now to the week 41. Had the third big screening appointment. Baby girl has already had her head down and weighs about 1.5 kilo. Finally, it was 100% sure it's a girl. Basically, since I realized that I was pregnant, I knew or somehow felt it was a girl. They confirmed it on my first big screening, which was week 14, I guess, and then they confirmed it, like it's mostly to be a girl on my second big screening, which was probably around week 20, but it wasn't like 100% sure because they said it looks like it's girl. And actually I had already everything for a girl. We actually have a baby girl names, and we also went to the office to confirm it, because if you are not a married couple and you are expecting your baby, you basically need to visit the office to let them know which surname she will have, and you also need to give them a names for a girl and a boy. So we actually had a name for a girl like 4 weeks probably after we found out it's really a girl, and it took us really more time to pick up some name for a boy. So basically I was really hoping it's not a boy, as of course I had many things that were curly, like pink, and some dresses as well, and even some bigger stuff. I actually have everything from the new size, newborn size, till like size 92, I guess, which is around 18 to 24 months. So I'm basically like ready for a longer period of time. And now at the week 41 they finally confirmed it's 100% a girl, which I was beyond happy. Have a little stretch marks on my breast, thankfully nothing on my stomach. I actually have something on my stomach as well at this moment. Vanessa was talking about visiting the office and picking up names and confirm which surname she will use. We visited the office at this point. So we have basically everything written down. She's actually going to have my boyfriend's surname, and we picked just beautiful name for her, and also we had to pick a name for a boy as well. Struggling with acne on my chin and shoulders. I actually still been struggling with some acne of my shoulders at this moment, especially like with the little white marks which I need to sunbathe. Week 33, had the last wedding shooting before the baby girls come. It was actually quite challenging, especially if I was about to take some photo and I had to like bend over and like, you know, move, and basically baby girl was kicking obviously, and I couldn't really stay in one position for a long time, so I had to change my positions a lot. And it was actually a really hot day, so it was definitely challenging, and definitely it was the last wedding before she will come. Plus like editing the photos was even harder because I had backaches and had to sit down for hours to edit the photos, and it was definitely a challenging time. Week 34, more stretch marks on my breast, even if I use anti-stretch marks lotion twice a day. Thankfully nothing on my stomach. Obviously I already have something on my stomach as well. Feeling dizzy a lot more than normally. Having cramps in my balls during the night or if I'm driving. Definitely it can be dangerous as well. If you are driving and having cramps in your bowels. Thankfully I'm like quite used to it, so I was okay even if I was driving. Week 45 to 46, waking up to pee every 1 to 2 hours during the night. It's definitely uncomfortable. Especially as I was exploring how I have to stand up from the bed if I want to pee in the night. It's definitely uncomfortable. And even like sometimes when I wake up to pee in the night, I couldn't really feel back asleep like for a few minutes or even maybe for like an hour, which is even harder for me. And actually we went a little crazy and went on a hiking, which was 9.4 kilometers. It was actually a hard one. Could barely walk by the end, and my back hurt so bad. Thankfully my man helped me a lot with the parts when I didn't feel safe, and he helped me. Actually, I have some photos on my Instagram, and there were parts where you basically couldn't really walk comfortable, and it was on like stones, and there was just a hill and a water underneath, and really not like pregnancy friendly walk at all. Basically, I feel like my legs have been really like, it's like heavy. I don't really know how to explain it because it never happened to me previously, but like last 2 weeks my feet has been really heavy, and it's basically more challenge to walk somehow and to go outside, and I don't really know how to explain it, but can't really imagine that I would walk for like 20 kilometers, which I basically do normally, but at this point, no. Experienced some heartburn as well, which I'm not used to. This was definitely the week when my heartburn was quite challenging and really quite hard. I never experienced it before, and at first I didn't really know what's it, and then when I realized, I basically really couldn't stop it. Thankfully it's much better at this point. I still have it sometimes, but it's not as bad and not that often. Week 37, which is the last week I basically have some notes for. I've been struggling with fake contractions, which is called Braxton Hicks contractions, many times per day and night, plus heartburn. There was a night when it happened to me during the night, and it was definitely really uncomfortable. I felt really tired in the morning, and basically I slept for like 4 hours in total, with some breaks. And there's an example which is from this night. I had dose as I wanted to go sleep at 11:30 p.m. fell asleep at 1 a.m. because the Braxton Hicks contractions were quite hard. I actually felt like maybe it's a labor. I had another at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., etc., which definitely was the toughest night, probably, and sleeping for like 4 hours and not even like full 4 hours. It was just really very crazy, and those fake contractions were also crazy. Had the doctor appointment obviously I told him about the Braxton Hill's contractions, and from this and also from like the appointment, he told me that the labor can basically start any day. It's most likely to be earlier than later, and it can actually happen any day. So obviously I have my bag packed, and my boyfriend is like ready to take me to the hospital. I also called the hospital where I want to give labor in, and basically I'm going to register there just a few days before my term is, and if I have contractions and if my water will break earlier, I basically have to call them and talk to them about it, and we'll basically go there earlier, of course. So yeah, I'm quite anxious about the labor, because obviously I don't really know what to expect. Even though I saw some labors, and I actually know a little bit about it, at least something, but I still feel really anxious about it and scared. So I really hope everything will be good, and everything will be smooth. I basically hope for a quick labor, which is actually a natural one. So I basically don't really want any epidural. I feel like I'm more scared of this injection with it than of the pain. So basically I don't really plan to have it, and hoping it will be really quick and safe and natural as well. So I'm probably going to film the baby girl's room tour video as well, and see you guys in my next videos when I won't be pregnant anymore. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know down in the comments if you are pregnant, which week are you, if you are expecting a girl or a boy. If you can and you want, you can share us also names. Maybe you can definitely help some other people in choosing names and finding something really nice. Let me know anything about your pregnancy as well, if you have been struggling with anything else.